All right, good morning everyone. We are back, and as you can see, we are back down here at another little river, which is kind of close to me. It's about an hour drive, but I have fished this system a fair bit in the past. You guys might actually recognize it. We've caught some cracking estuary perch out of here. A lot of small fish, but there's actually some really big fish in the mix. So today, obviously we have our kayak down here just so we can move around. It is the middle of winter, so these fish can be hard to find, but today I reckon we might have a bit of luck. It's been raining the past few days, and finally we're having a good break in the weather. It's a beautiful morning, and we actually have like 4 days of good weather, which is unheard of for down here, but let's get out there this morning. So there's one more thing to do. It is to slide down this muddy ramp and get out there. Well, we're out here now, and what an absolutely beautiful morning it is. Literally not a breath of wind about at the moment. That sun's just starting to come up, and I reckon it's about time that we get into it. So I actually do have a little bit of a game plan this morning on what I want to do. So first of all, I'm actually going to make my way down towards the entrance, fish the rock walls. As you can see, there's a massive one beside me. So we're going to be fishing the rock walls, fishing the shallow mud as well. The fish actually like to hold there. And if we don't have any luck around here, then I'm actually going to head up river and target some really big winter estuary perch in the snags. So that's kind of the basic plan. And as I said before as well, we're also going to be trying out some unique lures, which I've kind of just pulled out of my tackle box, and they don't really get any use. So as you can see, we have some prawn lures right here. We have a couple of different brands, and we also have this little spider prawn soft plastic, which we're going to be using first of all. So this is what we're going to use first up, this little yellow and brown tinge, little soft plastic prawn. So I reckon that's going to be fairly interesting. I reckon estuary perch will absolutely demolish this if we can get it in front of a hungry one. So that's going to be the first lure of choice. We've got our ultralight 7-foot soft plastics rod. So it should be a bit of fun this morning. So let's get into it and get a few casts out there. So I've actually just sounded up a whole heap of fish along this wall. So we're just going to start right here. Just see if we can get any bites straight up, because hopefully we can. That'll be a good sign. Just going to literally hop this soft plastic along the bottom, just like an actual prawn. So slight hops, not anything too drastic, just tip, tap, let it sink back down. That's kind of all we're going to be doing, I reckon. There we go, little fish. What is that? Oh, it's a baby perch. Literally, second cast of the morning, we've got one of the smallest perch I've ever seen. Look at that thing. That is tiny, but that's a good sign though. Literally, wherever there's small perch, you guys know there's always bigger fish around. See ya, buddy. I actually thought that was a salmon. I should also state as well that we're using a 1/12 jig head on this as well. So a medium, I usually like to use a 1/8, 1/12 or 1/16 jig head. They're kind of the three main ones I use. So right now, we're just starting off in the middle. As you guys can see, there's definitely a few fish down there on the sounder. They're all fish down there from 4 foot all the way down to on the bottom. Some decent arches there too, so hopefully there's some bigger fish. There we go, another one. Second, literally 2 in a row. A little bit better too. A little bit better, but just not that much better. Oh, he's got that way down. All right, we'll take that. Look at that, he's scoffed that. There we go. Literally third cast, second and third cast have both been fish. Wow, look at all the sea lice on this fish. That is crazy, he's covered in sea lice. Tell you what, I was definitely not expecting to start off the morning this good. Second perch in 3 casts. That is ridiculous. Whenever you catch an estuary perch, always check your leader. That fish got it down really, really deep, and my leader was completely frayed. Although they don't really have any teeth, the old estuary perch, but they do have a really raspy mouth, and that is enough to fray these leaders. So always change it. Even if you feel the slightest nick, always change the leaders. Very good start to the morning. Both of the fish have kind of been over there, actually in the deeper water. There we go, another one. 2 casts later, yet again, we got another one. Very small. Well, we're definitely starting to find some perch, but the only issue is a lot of them are very small. Hopefully Hopefully there's some bigger ones in the mix. Sometimes that's what can happen. You'll find a lot of small fish and then all of a sudden you'll pull a 40 or 45 centimetre fish. Either way though, I'm not going to complain. They're actually sitting a little bit off the wall. They're sitting in that deeper water, it seems like so far. Now, one thing I like to do with estuary perch is if I get a few fish on one lure, I always like to change up the profile and throw a different type of lure in there. So as you can see, we've got this chartreuse 2.75 inch paddle-tailed soft plastic, and this one's actually been sitting in my tackle box for so long. I always thought to use it one day. I've never used like a bright yellow type soft plastic like this, so today's the day we're going to give it a go. We'll chuck that roughly in the same area where we got the others. As you can see, they're schooled up fairly deep. One more cast there, then we'll keep moving. There we go. There we go. See, that little change in profile always seems to get an eat. Tell you what, he's not actually that bad. He's not too bad. He's not bad at all. Little chartreuse paddletail, eh? Yeah, he's not bad at all. In the exact same spot as where we've got the other ones, but that change in profile is what did it. That little chartreuse paddletail. Well, that's the fourth one of the morning, and I'll tell you what, that'll probably be the biggest one. He's in the 30s, I reckon, and yet again, he's full of sea lice. Very, very weird how these fish have sea lice on them, but still, it's actually not a bad fish. I'll take that. Let's let him go. See you later, buddy. Off he goes. Fourth one of the morning already. It's been a very little red hot little bite just in this little cove here. So it's like the main rock wall, but there's a tiny little cove where there's two poles. There might be a little bit of a water inflow there. So I'm thinking that's what's going on. The fish are kind of congregating around this little area here. Another thing which is semi-interesting to note is that I'm using 12-pound leader on this rod right here. So if you guys were wondering if estuary perch, oh, that's another one. That's not a bad fish. Probably the same size as that last one. Got the drag a little bit loose, but that's actually not bad. He might be the biggest one yet again. Yeah, he is. He's a good fish. He's a net job, this one. He's a cracker. He's a cracker. He's a cracker. That one right there is a much better fish. He might even be in the 40s, that one. I was just saying that estuary perch aren't a leader shy fish. Like I have 8-pound on this one, I have 12-pound on this rod, and literally it does not make a difference. I don't care what anyone says, estuary perch aren't leader shy at all. Tell you what, for this system, this is a very, very quality fish. 44 centimeter fish, and we caught like 2 fish which were like 5-10 centimeters, and then we get a 44 from the exact same spot. Tell you what, I'm definitely not going to complain though. That is an absolute cracker. Let's send him off. Down he goes. Wow, off into the chocolate milk. Well, we'll check that leader again. Yep, the leader's badly frayed. Let's get another cast in there. There can't be too many more fish sitting in there. What's that, the 5th? Are you serious? They hit the water and I was on. There we go. There we go. That's a good fish. On the spider prawn. Wow, that took a long time. They were down there, they just weren't eating. Literally, we are back where we caught the first fish. Oh, he's only just on. Whoa, he's a solid fish. He's a cracker, an absolute cracker. There he is right there. That is another very solid perch. He'd be in the 40s. I might give him a little measurement, but as you can see, he was on the spider prawn this one. We actually just lost 2 fish on the soft plastics, switched right over to the spider prawn, and bang, smacked one. That lure's out, so let's send him off. See ya, buddy. Off you go. Just goes to show you though, you never know what these fish are going to be feeding on the day when you're fishing. Like I would never thought to have used this lure today, but yet it has easily got me the most hits out of any soft plastic I've been using. So might have to be a permanent addition. Well, I think I'm going to call it at this spot now. We actually ended up having a good day. We caught 10 perch in the end, but we caught 8 of them within the first hour. So it was a really weird day. They were just firing. They were really biting their heads off first thing this morning, and then it just completely shut down. We fished a bunch of different areas, and couldn't really stay connected or find any fish. So sometimes that's how it goes. They can just shut down in a second, and that's exactly how it was like today. Now I'm thinking of going and fishing another system on the way home for a couple of hours. So if we do that, then I'll see you out there. But if not, then thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.